Latest shocking discovery by scientists shaking the world to its core. Do you think you know everything about Egypt? There are amazing things there. Due to the abundance of pyramids there, Egypt is frequently referred to as the country of pharaohs. The Egyptians are renowned for their finds of gold-encrusted treasures and their expertise in mummification. Near Memphis, Egypt, a granodiorite still bearing 3 copies of King Ptolemy's V Epiphanes' proclamation from 196 BC is known as the Rosetta Stone. The text at the top and center are hieroglyphics, and the text at the bottom is Greek. Since the 3 versions of the edict only slightly differ, the Rosetta Stone can decode the Egyptian language. Welcome to the historical saga. Even though truly significant archaeological discoveries may already be a thing of the past, researchers are constantly searching the globe for signs of earlier civilizations and their artifacts. Small and significant discoveries are made daily as a result of this process, which aids in making connections and improving understanding of the historical context of modern society. The gift of the Nile is Egypt, one of the earliest civilizations in human history. There were a lot of tributes, documents, and works of art left behind, whose creations are still being researched by art specialists today. Even though its borders, language, literature, climate, and even religion have all undergone various alterations over the millennia, Egypt is nevertheless a fascinating country today. Ancient Egypt was closely connected to the rest of the world because of the import and export of goods, meals, concepts, and even religions. Ancient Egypt occasionally exercised dominion over territory outside of the modern nation, including in countries such as Israel, Palestine, Lebanon, Syria, Sudan, and Cyprus. Egypt was occupied by numerous countries throughout history while briefly retaining the status of a superpower. The Persians, Nubians, Greeks, Romans all defeated Egypt at different points in time. A variety of other names have been used for Egypt. One of the most well-known is Kemet, a name from antiquity that means the Black Land. According to the majority of academics, this name was not given because of the inhabitants' skin color, but rather because of the fertile soil that was left over following the August Nile floods. The word pharaohs has been used by the nation to refer to earlier kings and queens, similar to how Russia used the word Tsar as the substitute to the word emperor. The Egyptian name Per-A, which means the Great House, is where the word pharaoh comes from. Thutmose III, who ruled between 1479 and 1425 BC, was the first to adapt the term as a regal title. Although scientists are unsure of the precise date when early hominids first set foot in Egypt, the oldest migration of hominids out of Africa took place around 2 million years ago, while modern humans only left Africa about 100,000 years ago. It's possible that some of these migrations used Egypt as a pathway to Asia. Although the exact circumstances surrounding the unification of ancient Egypt are still unknown, one hypothesis holds that the 2 kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt, which had previously existed as 2 distinct entities, later merged. The theory is supported by artwork that shows pharaohs wearing 2 crowns, one for Lower Egypt and another for Upper Egypt. Although the pharaonic periods of Egypt are long past, these kings were categorized into 30 or 31 dynasties, which were subsequently split up into several eras. Egypt is where the first hieroglyphic writings, which date back about 5,200 years, were produced. Because it was a live language, most hieroglyphics represented the sounds of consonants and a few strongly pronounced vowels. We now have some understanding of some of the discoveries uncovered in this North African nation thanks to the interpretation of these hieroglyphics. As you'll see in this video, certain discoveries are still unsettling and inexplicable. One discovery that continues to baffle scientists is the underground room in the Giza Pyramid. The Egyptian pyramids are among the most beautiful man-made structures in recorded history. The size of the statues depicting the pharaohs reflects their importance in ancient Egyptian civilization. Because of their status as being halfway between humans and celestial beings, they were thought to have been chosen by the gods themselves to serve as their earthly intermediaries. Purpose did the pyramids serve? Before we move on, dig up the subscribe button. Let's get back to the video. The ancient Egyptians believed that Ka, or a portion of the king's spirit, remained with his body after his death. In order to properly care for the king's spirit, his corpse was mummified, and everything he would need in the afterlife, including all the accoutrements of royalty like gold utensils, food, furnishings, and other offerings, was buried with him. One of the most well-known pyramids within Egypt is the Pyramid of Giza. One of the early pharaohs of Egypt, Pharaoh Tutankhamun, is believed to have been entombed there. They appear to have been unable to reach the Big Void, however, so whatever its purpose must have been, it's still able to perform it. The next fact that has been revealed by researchers regarding ancient Egypt is not for the weak-hearted. Do you want any creepy mummy juice? A black granite tomb 16 feet below the surface was uncovered by construction workers on an apartment block in the renowned Mediterranean port city. The almost 2,000-year-old burial chamber went viral online incredibly quick. The terrifying sight of 3 floating skeletons in the soup's murky broth gave rise to rumors that the mummy juice had magical or healing properties, and the locals were anxious to bottle it and sell it to make some quick cash, while others worried that its unusual color might have been caused by a mercury-like substance. The enormous black granite tomb was found cracked open, despite fears that doing so may allow an ancient curse to be released. Furthermore, a lot of people believed it may have contained Alexander the Great's remains. However, Dr. Mustafa Waziri, General Secretary of the Supreme Council of Antiquities, quickly disproved that hypothesis by asserting that it may have actually belonged to a priest instead. However, one of the skulls was found to have suffered what seemed to be arrow damage, which, according to a statement from Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities, suggested that the bones belonged to military officers. What was this mummy juice exactly, though? Did it really have a supernatural undertone? Regrettably, no. The liquid was neither red mercury nor mummy juice containing an elixir of life. It was determined by officials to be sewage water. Waziri asserted that the corpses had partially disintegrated because sewage water from an adjacent building had entered the tomb through a small entrance on one side. But what about the significance of opening an old tomb? Waziri stated he was the first to put his head inside the tomb, and it doesn't seem like anything horrible has occurred to him. Therefore, either the legends were untrue, or there were no curses associated with this specific tomb. One might think that light bulbs are a recent invention, but some Egyptian findings suggest that our ancestors might have employed such light-producing technologies. Let's go to Dendera, a historical city. You know the ancient Egyptians loved to decorate their walls with inscriptions and reliefs. According to one of these, Egyptians were aware of light bulbs. A crux tube, or object like a light bulb, is shown in inscriptions found beneath the temple of Hathor in Dendera. Inside the bulbs is a wavering line from what appears to be a lotus blossom, which may have been the bulb socket. Some have therefore suggested that the light bulb is really a lotus flower bulb, which is fabled to have given birth to the mythical god. Erich von Däniken suggested that the tube was actually a primitive electric light bulb in the eyes of the Sphinx, with the snake standing in for the filament and the djed pillar for the insulator. It appears that the baboon's presence served as a reminder that the instrument could be dangerous if misused. Although there have been many theories and arguments, Sylvie Coville provided the following in her comprehensive research on the inscription in this temple. Hor Sema Tauni is depicted in the carving as a hawk, a serpent, and a young infant. So with this, we conclude our topic for the day. Let us know in the comment section down below which one of these mysteries of ancient Egypt you like the most. If you found the video fascinating, do show your appreciation by dropping a like. Follow us for more such amazing content in the future, and click on the bell icon to have the latest updates.